Have you ever felt that someone with whom you once shared important, life-changing moments suddenly vanished without explanation? That inexplicable silence? When you try to reach out, when you search for even the slightest sign of their presence, leaves you wondering if they still think of you, if they remember you, or if they ever intended to come back. Yet their silence is the only answer, and you are left sifting through every detail of past interactions, trying to decipher what went wrong. But the curious thing is that even though it appears that this person deliberately distanced themselves, a small, persistent part of you whispers that the matter is not so simple. You feel as if there remains something unresolved, an unfinished chapter in a story that hasn't fully closed. Carl Jung, one of the most influential scholars of the human unconscious, taught us that nothing in our relationships is truly accidental. Our psyche, with its vast network of hidden processes, communicates in ways that transcend the surface of our interactions. When someone continually reappears in your thoughts, it is not merely a reminder of their physical presence. It is a symbol, a representation of something much deeper that your unconscious is trying to reveal. Jung believed that the forces that shape our relationships are not governed solely by the conscious decisions we make, but also by a myriad of unconscious factors: our emotions, our fears, our unresolved wounds, and the projections we cast onto others. When a person seems to disappear without explanation, it might not be about them at all. Instead, it could be that the bond you shared activated aspects of your inner world that remain unhealed or unacknowledged. For instance, you might find that every time you think of them, it stirs feelings of abandonment or rejection. Or perhaps it highlights a sense of incompleteness you have long tried to ignore. This is because, as Jung taught, the people who enter and exit our lives often serve as mirrors, reflecting back parts of ourselves that we have not yet come to terms with. The emotional residue left behind is not simply about the person who left. It is about what they represent in the intricate tapestry of your inner life. When someone you once cherished ceases to contact you, it may seem as if your connection has been severed, yet you feel that some invisible thread still binds you. This persistent echo is a signal from your unconscious, urging you to look inward. It is not necessarily a sign of lingering attachment in the romantic sense. Rather, it is a call for you to examine your own unresolved issues. Jung spoke of projection as one of the most powerful psychological forces influencing human relationships. Projection occurs when you attribute to another person qualities or emotions that actually reside within you. The traits you admire, the qualities you despise, and even the wounds you carry can be projected onto others without your conscious awareness. Thus, if you find yourself obsessing over why that person hasn't reached out, it may be because they embody something in your own psyche, a part of yourself that is in desperate need of healing or acknowledgement. Perhaps they represent the ideal you once aspired to be, or conversely, they might mirror a darker aspect of your personality that you have long tried to suppress. The more intense your emotional reaction, the more likely it is that something in you is still calling for resolution. It might be a fear of abandonment that has its roots in past experiences, or an unhealed wound from a previous relationship that has never been properly addressed. In this light, the silence of the other person is not a verdict on your worth. It is a reflection of the inner work you have yet to undertake. The connection you once shared, no matter how fleeting, has left an imprint on your unconscious. And until you confront that imprint, the person will continue to haunt your thoughts. Moreover, there is another layer to this phenomenon that runs even deeper than personal projections: archetypes. According to Jung, archetypes are universal, inherited patterns that shape the way we perceive and interact with the world. They reside in the collective unconscious and influence our behavior without us even realizing it. When a person leaves a significant impact on you, it might be because they have activated one of these archetypal forces within you. Perhaps they represent the lover, the healer, the mentor, or even the rebel. roles that have profound meaning in the context of your own life story. The intensity of the bond you felt may not have been solely about the individual themselves, but about how they resonated with these deeper, universal energies that drive human connection. This understanding shifts the perspective from a simplistic view of relationships as mere interactions between individuals to a more complex, symbolic view where every significant connection is imbued with unconscious meaning. When you feel that someone's absence leaves an unfillable void, it is a sign that your unconscious mind is urging you to look at what they symbolize in your life. Perhaps they triggered a part of you that has been dormant or neglected, a quality or a potential that you have not yet fully recognized. Rather than focusing solely on their absence or the unanswered messages, it is crucial to turn your attention inward and ask, what is it about this connection that has left such an impression on me? By doing so, you begin to unravel the layers of meaning that lie beneath your emotional response. The answer may reveal that the person in question was never truly meant to be a permanent fixture in your life, but rather a catalyst for your own inner transformation. In other words, their appearance in your life and subsequently their disappearance might be part of a larger, unconscious process designed to push you toward greater self-awareness. The very fact that you cannot stop thinking about them is a call to examine your inner landscape, to explore the unresolved emotions and unhealed wounds that continue to influence you. It is a reminder that every significant relationship, no matter how brief, carries the potential for deep personal insight, if only you are willing to look beyond the surface. And this, in turn, is the beginning of a journey toward individuation, the process of integrating all parts of yourself into a cohesive, authentic whole. As you continue on this path of inner exploration, you begin to realize that the reason that person remains so vividly present in your mind is not because of something inherently mysterious about them, but because of what they represent to you. Their absence, their silence, is a powerful mirror reflecting back the parts of your psyche that are still unhealed, the unresolved issues that you have not yet faced. Instead of trying to force closure through external means, through waiting for a message or seeking validation from others, the solution lies in turning your focus inward. Ask yourself, what does this person awaken within me? What unresolved emotions or memories are they stirring? By engaging in this introspective inquiry, you shift the dynamic from one of passive longing to active self-discovery. This process of introspection is not an exercise in self-blame or regret. It is an opportunity to reclaim your inner power. The more you understand the source of your attachment, the less you will be controlled by it. When you stop obsessing over why they have not contacted you, you begin to see that the answer is not in their actions or in the lack thereof, but in the way your own mind processes the experience. The longing you feel, the persistent preoccupation with their absence, is a signal that there is something within you that still needs healing, perhaps a fear of abandonment or a deep-seated need for validation that you have yet to fulfill. Until you address these inner wounds, the echo of that connection will continue to resonate in your thoughts, acting as a constant reminder that there is unfinished business within your own soul. Carl Jung believed that every significant relationship we experience is a reflection of our inner world, a symbolic mirror that shows us parts of ourselves that we might have otherwise ignored. In this light, the fact that you cannot stop thinking about this person is not an indictment of their importance in your life, but a powerful call for you to look at what they reveal about your own inner landscape. Perhaps the intensity of your attachment is a reflection of an inner void, a part of you that longs for connection, validation, or healing. When you understand that the recurring thoughts are a projection of your own unconscious, you gain the power to transform those thoughts. Instead of waiting for external closure or explanations, you can choose to confront the feelings head-on. Ask yourself, what did I need from this relationship that I have not yet found within myself? The answer to this question is the key to liberating yourself from the cycle of longing and dependency. There is also the concept of the shadow self, which Jung described as the repository of all the parts of ourselves that we have denied or repressed. This shadow is not something to be feared or eradicated. Rather, it is a source of potential insight and growth. When someone who was once significant in your life begins to fade away, the void you experience is not solely due to their absence, but also because there is a part of your shadow that has not been integrated. Perhaps that person activated in you a series of emotions that you have been avoiding, memories of past hurts, fears of inadequacy, or a deep-seated insecurity that you have never fully acknowledged. Until you confront and integrate these aspects of your shadow, they will continue to manifest in your thoughts, drawing you back into a cycle of unresolved longing and inner turmoil. Understanding this dynamic is the first step toward breaking free. The solution is not to desperately seek the return of that person, nor to cling to every fleeting sign of their presence. Instead, you must turn your attention inward and begin the process of healing. This involves engaging in self-reflection, perhaps through journaling or meditation, and examining the recurring patterns that have shaped your emotional responses. As you analyze your thoughts and feelings, you may find that the pain of their absence is not solely about them, but about something deeper within you, a wound or a need that has not been addressed. In this way, the absence of the person becomes an opportunity, a moment for you to reclaim a part of yourself that has been lost in the midst of the relationship. In many cases, the silence you experience is not a message of rejection from the other person, but a reflection of your own internal process. Your unconscious is constantly communicating with you through symbols, dreams, and sensations. When someone significant disappears from your life without explanation, it is not because they are indifferent or callous. It is because they have fulfilled their role in your journey, and now your psyche is urging you to look inward and complete the work that remains. This is where the concept of closing cycles becomes crucial. Rather than waiting for external closure, a message or a sign that the chapter has ended, the responsibility lies with you to recognize that the relationship, with all its joys and pains, has imparted a lesson that is now ready to be integrated into your own growth. When you begin to understand that the true meaning of the connection lies not in the presence or absence of the other, but in what it has taught you about yourself, you can finally break free from the cycle of endless questioning and longing. The moment you accept that the other person is not the source of your fulfillment, but merely a mirror reflecting aspects of your own inner life, you liberate yourself from the emotional dependency that has held you captive. This realization does not diminish the significance of the relationship. Rather, it transforms it into a stepping stone on your path toward greater self-awareness and individuation. In that space of deep understanding, you begin to reclaim your power, and the incessant search for external validation fades away. The journey to heal from the lingering echoes of past relationships is not about erasing memories, but about understanding them, learning from them, and then moving forward with a clearer sense of who you are and what you truly need. Ultimately, the reason that person continues to occupy your mind is not a reflection of their worth, but of the unresolved parts of your own psyche that are still calling for attention. It is a signal from your unconscious that there is work to be done, a message urging you to examine the hidden wounds and unmet needs that lie beneath the surface. When you embrace this journey inward, you no longer need to search for answers outside yourself. You come to understand that every relationship, every memory, every lingering thought is a piece of the puzzle, a puzzle that, when fully assembled, reveals the true essence of who you are. And in that moment of profound self-recognition, you find that the power to move forward lies entirely within you. The silence of the other person, the unanswered messages, and the persistent longing are not curses, but invitations to heal and to grow. When you finally face what lies within, you will discover that the answer was never out there. It was always inside you.